Hi, this is Marcus from Saber Project Shop, and today we will have a look at the disassembly process of the Snips. To disassemble the sabers, you need the tools that are provided with the kit, which are the screwdriver, the Allen keys, and the 3D printed tool that you need to remove the pins. And you will also need a set of erasers, and optionally a pair of tweezers might come in handy. We will start with the main hilt. At first, we will take out the blade plug by unscrewing the blade retention screw here. Then we can unscrew the pommel. The pommel itself also can be taken apart. First thing is the pommel cap, which we can unscrew here. Then take off the ring with the cubes, and we can also screw the ring off the pommel here. In the next step, we will take out the copper button, which acts as a switch plunger, and for that we use an eraser. We press down the eraser on the knob and rotate it anti-clockwise to unscrew it. And you see that it already screws out, so you can use your fingers and you have heard the little nut already fall into the hilt, and then you can just have the top fallen in your hand. There is also a spring, so here this little spring, and then to remove the mount, just use your thumb, press it in so you release it, and you easily screw it out. We are providing some genuine copper parts to replace the one that are made from aluminum and coated, so if you want to weather your saber, it might be better to use those. For the next part, we will unscrew the blade retention screw. And here we have a couple of screws that we can screw out. So we use one of the Allen wrenches, which are also supplied for that, to unscrew both of those screws. And then we can take out the base of the blade retention screw. Next thing is removing the pins, and for that we have a 3D printed tool. So we just put it on top here, press it down, then rotate it anti-clockwise. So you really have to feel the grip that it has, and then it will work. There it is. I can just put it out with my finger, and here it is. And the second one works the same. Might be a little hard to take out the pins out of the tool again. Take your time. Do not use some pliers, otherwise you will probably wreck the threading. If you do not get the second one out, you just might leave it because you will have to put it again in anyway. So I'm leaving it here, but you see it works. I have taken out one of those. So the next thing is removing the box, and for that I pull here with my fingernail on one of the sides of the card, and it splits right here. Be careful that you do not do this too hard, otherwise you might damage your shroud here when you pull it too hard. Maybe just use, as I do, something to stop the cart when pushing it, so it will not do any scratches. And the same also works on the other side. Just pull them out to the side, pull and push. And here they are. We have screws underneath, nylon screws here, and you can use the supplied screwdriver to screw them in and screw them out to create more or less friction. So if your cart is sliding around too much, then just rotate it just a slight bit to the left, so the screw comes a little bit out and creates a bit more friction. And if your cart is sitting too tight or you can't push it over there, then you can rotate it to the right to screw it a little bit in, so it will create less friction. Next thing would be unscrewing the box, which we do again with the Allen key. And now we see that there is a 3D printed part in here, which we can take out. Also the plate, which acts as a plunger in the cart, will fall out, which is this one. And here we have the 3D printed part, which has a spring printed inside this part, which is part of this little thing here. And you see here the plunger, when I press on it, it comes out and presses on a switch which is inside the chassis. So if you ever will have problems with this part, maybe the spring is broken or something, you can get this replaced easily. In the next step, we will unscrew this greeble here, and below there is another screw which you can take out. And in the last step, you can unscrew the cover tag, take it out completely together with the base, and then gently, very gently, pull out the main body out of the shroud. Do this very gently, and then you're finished disassembling the saber. The bunny ears are glued, so there are no visible screws on the other side. The thing that you see here is an anchor, so that it will be in the correct position. To assemble the saber again, we do everything the way around. So carefully pushing in the main body into the shroud. And to secure everything, first we will screw on the cover tag screw, which holds everything in place. And we take this greeble, put that screw here, and screw it down. Do not over tighten it. Aluminium is a soft metal. Screw on the top for the greeble. In the next step, we will reassemble the box. For that, we first place the 3D printed part. As you can see, this part is not symmetric. We have a spring printed inside here, and this spring has to be more into the front than into the back, so, or from our point of view, it's more to the left than to the right, so we put it in like this exactly. And then we take this little plate and put it onto the plunger here, take the box, put it over and screw it on. Now we apply both sides of the cards. You see on the underside here there is a little slot. The other card also has one, and then you push them towards the 3D printed part this way from the front and the opposite way from the back. And when doing that, you can check if it is easy or too hard to slide the card over. In this case here, it is just perfect. It's maybe a little bit too loose. If it is too loose, then you take it out again and use your screwdriver to screw out the nylon screw which is underneath to create some more friction. And of course you do the same thing from the other side. You can check by sliding with your finger over the top of the box to see if the card is moving, and if it's not, it should be okay. I then take my pin tool again with the pin already inserted and seat it here and screw it in. And you will notice when it sits right, because it gets harder to turn it further. Then you can slowly turn it further and pull on it so it comes loose. Then you take the other pin, push it into the pin tool and screw this on also. In the next step, we will reapply the base for the blade retention screw. We use the Allen keys again. And we screw in the blade retention screw. In the next step, we want to reassemble the switch again. So we take the switch cap and put on the spring. And then we take the mount and put back in the nut. You can use, like I do, a pair of tweezers for that. Then put it onto a flat surface and push on the cap, hold it down here, and then just rotate it. Push a little and rotate it until you feel that it screws in. Also take your eraser again until you feel some resistance when turning. The nut should not stick out when no pressure is applied, so this looks nice. After that, we can place it here, straight, and try to seat it. And once we have accomplished that, and it is in there straight, we can screw it back in, also using the eraser to tighten it. After that, we can reassemble the pommel. And screw it back onto the saber. And of course, we insert the blade plug. Screw the blade tension screw out a little bit again, so it goes in there, and then screw it down. When the blade plug is in the correct position, it should look like this. And this is how you disassemble and reassemble the main saber. So with the Shoto, it's pretty much exactly the same. So you unscrew the pommel, then the pommel cap, also of course the greebles here, then we can take out the pins. We can also of course take out the blade plug. The switch construction again. We've heard nut falling out. And then we can loosen the cover tech screw. Take it off. And of course, it's also the same, just gently pulling out the main body out of the shroud. And this is how you disassemble the Shoto. To assemble it again, we do it the way around. Carefully inserting main body, and first secure everything by screwing in the cover tech screw, then we can screw in the pins. Put the switch together. And then screw the switch back into the saber. We can do a little trick with the eraser here also until we notice that everything is secure. And we can also put the greeble back on here. Screw on the cap for the greeble. Assemble the pommel. And screw the pommel onto the saber. And in the last step, you take the blade plug and put it back into the blade holder and secure it with the Allen wrench. And this is how you disassemble and assemble the Shoto. Something that I forgot to show in the process is that you can unscrew the pins in both of the blade plugs, in the main one, and of course also in the Shoto. And just very simple. Just screw it out, screw it back in again. With both of the brake plugs, it's working the same. And that's it. So this is how you disassemble and reassemble both of those sabers. Usually you just need to take out the blade plug and put it back in, remove the pommel. If you want to do weathering to your saber, you also might need to change the brass button, and you need to take out the cover tag. Usually there is no need to remove the pins or the box or the greebles, because you can access everything that you need without doing that. But of course, if you want to apply more and more consistent weathering, you will have to disassemble everything, of course. But now you know how it works. So this was the disassembly video for the Snips. I am Marcus from Saber Project Shop. Thanks for watching.